Nashville, it's Baltimore and first place Tennessee. They've never lost in this stadium. One of the reasons, quarterback Steve McNair, he has 9 touchdown passes, can beat you with his legs as well. He's rushed for over 200 yards. Ready to go on a perfect day for football. Corey Harris to return for the Ravens, and Craig Hendrick kicks it off. Harris up to the 8-yard line. Behind the wedge to the 28-yard line. And a tackle from Chris Coleman of the Titans. Trent Dilfer played his college ball at Fresno State. His 3rd start for Tony Banks, who was ineffective in that 5-game drought. No touchdown scored. Dilfer with 3 scores against Cincinnati in the victory last week. Palmer, first-round pick of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, came to Baltimore this year as an unrestricted free agent. It does get noisy here as Dilfer to pass on first. Fumbles the ball as he's hit by Javon Curse. And the Ravens able to fall on the loose football. Oh my. Brian Billick's team almost with a disastrous turnover in the first play from scrimmage.
Well, Dick, Trent looks downfield, doesn't see anything, and then pulls the football back in. You can see right there, he's just holding it. You don't get that long against this pass rush, Trent. There's a limit to how long you can expect to stand in this pocket before either Holmes or Curse gets there. That time it was the freak.
Curse brilliant last year with 14.5 sacks and 10 forced fumbles. That was his 4th sack, his 2nd fumble forced this year. Fighting the crowd on 2nd and long. Dilfer just does get it away. A knuckleball as he was hit as he delivered the ball. And it's Curse again all over Dilfer. Well, here's the offensive line trying to give their quarterback some time. Jonathan Ogden, the All-Pro, with Mulatalo, Mitchell, Flynn, and Swain. Dilfer has with him Jamal Lewis, who's had a couple of big games back-to-back. Ian Badejo, Ismael and Johnson outside, and Shannon Sharp, 7-time Pro Bowler, leads in catches with 42.
Brian's got to call some kind of a play, Brian Billick, to give Dilfer a quicker release. I wouldn't go for any kind of a 4-second pattern here.
4 wide receivers. Dilfer down the middle. Incomplete. A leaping try by Jermaine Lewis. And that's been the Titans' pattern. 3 and out in this first quarter.
Well, Tennessee with 2 quick pressures. This time only goes with a 3-man rush, dropping everybody back into zone coverage. It was a good throw by Dilfer. Would have had to be a highlight catch by Lewis to come up with it, but a shaky start offensively for a team that has been shaky offensively.
And the Titans, that's 9 out of 10 games, the first possession of their opponents 3 and out. Kyle Richardson sends it toward Derek Mason, one of the best in the league at the 25. Pinned at the 30 and smothered right there. Good surge led by Brad Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. And Steve McNair on the field now for the Tennessee Titans. His numbers modest at 9 touchdown passes, 6 interceptions. He's been sacked only 12 times and always dangerous when he tucks it away. He's rushed for over 200 yards, a 5-yard average. Trying to take his team back to the Super Bowl as the repeat AFC champions, and this franchise guided in his 6th year. Jeff Fisher played his college ball at Southern California. Johnny Robinson is coach, and very strong influence. From the 32, McNair steps away from pressure, throws to the sidelines, incomplete for Chris Sanders. Closest was Dwayne Starks. For the Titans, they line up this way to start. On the front wall, it's Hopkins and Matthews. Boy, that's a solid left side. Matthews, will he ever get old? Long, Olsen, and Miller completing the front 5 with the great Eddie George. 4 years, over 1,200 each year. Lorenzo Neal's the blocker. Mason and Sanders outside. And Frank Wycheck, the tight end, number 89, leads in catches with 40. And the give to George, his first carry against the top-rated defense in the league, and the Ravens are there to answer, led by Ray Lewis and Sam Adams. And here is that Baltimore defense. They are mean against the run. Burnett, Adams, Siragusa, and McCrary up front. Linebackers, big and fast Boulware, Lewis, and Sharper. And the defensive secondary, Dwayne Starks and McAllister on the outside, All-Pro Rod Woodson and Kim Herring at safety.
And there's Marvin Lewis, their defensive coordinator, giving up only 66 yards a game rushing.
Third down and 11. And McNair drops to throw. Fires complete. It's to Aaron Kinney, the rookie from Florida, but he's going to be shy of the first down at the 41. Corey Harris, an extra defensive back, in to help out for Baltimore. Jermaine Lewis, the speedster back for Baltimore at the 16, as Craig Hendrick averaging 41 a punt. Delivers 31, sends it very high, a boomer. Lewis back to his 10-yard line. 15 and tripped up at the 20-yard line by Frank Chamberlain. They just marked off 10 yards to the 25-yard line.
During the kick, there was a personal foul, major face mask on the kicking team, number 50. 15-yard penalty, repeat fourth down.
So Terry Killen's guilty, and it's a 15-yard penalty that'll take it to the 26-yard line. So Baltimore should come up with decent field position as Jermaine Lewis able to come all the way up to the 30-yard line. Remember, he fielded the last punt at the 10.
And only made it up to about the 15 or the 16. So you're right, this is going to be a major shift in field position unless Hendrick launches an all-world punt.
Very short and very high, so Lewis will come up in fair catch at the 37-yard line. So that's an improvement of almost 20 yards because of the penalty. So the defense of the Titans comes on the field, and let's introduce the men in blue for Tennessee. Javon Curse has already made his presence known. Thornton Fisk rather light for inside tackles, and Kenny Holmes has had an outstanding year, leads in sacks. Favors Godfrey, the leading tackler, and Robinson. Walker and Roll, a budding star on the outside. Robertson and Blaine Bishop, three-time Pro Bowler. He's at safety. Two tight ends this time, and that's Shannon Sharp in motion. And Jamal Lewis gets the carry out close to the 40-yard line where Thornton and others make the stop. Second down and 8. It's Lewis again, breaking a tackle, gets outside to the 50, and finally out of bounds at the Tennessee 45-yard line. Marcus Robertson bumped him out of bounds as Jamal Lewis with a solid run for first down of 16 yards.
Boy, he gets on around the corner. You can see right there Kenny Holmes upfield. Good hole between guard and center. Puts the fans here in Nashville in an awkward position. Jamal Lewis, a huge star at the University of Tennessee, now back in his home state here. I'm sure a lot of people love this guy, but not when he's here with the Ravens.
He put a big leg straight arm on Marcus Robertson. First down at the Titan 45. Dilfer into the flat. Almost intercepted by Curse. Oh, as he had a big early couple of minutes defensively. He's all over the place.
Well, Javon Curse kind of got called on the carpet a little bit by his coach, Jeff Fisher, 2 weeks ago. Said he's not playing as well as he would like him to play. He's really blocked effectively by Harry Swain, but Javon, instead of continuing to run upfield and take himself out of the play, stopped and did the best thing he could do, which was get up and try to block.
You asked him if he minded the nickname The Freak.
He said, no, I love it. As a matter of fact, he said, it doesn't bother me, except he said when I'm around women, I have to kind of explain myself.
The give is to Ian Badejo, and he makes nothing. A stop cold at the 45 by Randall Godfrey. Priest Holmes now in the backfield for Lewis on 3rd and 11. Blitz. Dilfer has a man wide open, and it's Kadri Ismail for a touchdown. Dilfer and the Ravens strike from 46 yards.
Well, it all started with the fact that Tennessee came on the big blitz, and they're picked up at the line. That's where it starts. Here comes the safety blitz up the middle. and we're starting outside Michael Booker and Perry Phoenix, and they just don't get it done. Booker initially on the corner, Phoenix the safety late coming over to try to pick up Ismail, but outstanding blocking up front by Baltimore, giving Dilfer that look downfield.
Matt Stover for the extra point. He was the Baltimore offense for those 5 straight games. It's 7-0 as Ismail on the receiving end of Dilfer's touchdown pass, 46 yards. This noisy crowd stunned by the strike by Baltimore. Only the 2nd touchdown allowed by the Titans in the first quarter in 10 games. 63 yards in 5 plays, 7-0, and Stover hits this one well. A high spinner to the 5-yard line. Derek Mason leads the leg, and kickoff returns. He's to the 30, one man to beat the kicker. And Stover able to get him out of bounds, but not until the Titans get it to the 42-yard line of Baltimore. That is the 4th return of over 50 yards by Mason this season.
Well, this is a middle return. You can see he starts to the middle, and then when he sees containment is lost by Baltimore, he makes his break to the outside.
Derek Mason is okay after being tackled by Stover. Looks like Stover hit him in the knee with a helmet. Great field position at the 43 of Baltimore for the Titans, who trailed 7-0 early. Eddie George into a cold, hard defense, and then able to spin away for a yard. Dwayne Starks from the secondary to secure the tackle.
How about if we go back and analyze the touchdown? Right down here is Ismail, and here's the line. But right here, safety blitz coming in here. Over here is Perry Phoenix, but there's 2 receivers here, so he's got to shade that side of the field. He has trouble getting back into coverage. And when Dilfer identifies that his best shot is to the left side of the field, it's speed by Ismail, and it's really the fact that Phoenix, all alone in the middle of the field, isn't able to get over the top and support his quarterback, Michael Booker.
2nd down and 8, and McNair to George in the flat, and he's tackled at the 34-yard line, and that'll be shy a yard of a first down. Starks and Sharper collaborate on the stop.
Well, this play will be coming right at us. Eddie George, a quality receiver as well, but you notice the way he had to turn his back to take the football, and that's the way, from a defensive standpoint, you want your backs to have to field the football. When their shoulder pads are away from the line of scrimmage, that extra half step to spin all the way around and front up costs some valuable time.
3rd, a long one. Fake to George, might have been a blown play, and McNair goes down as Rob Burnett records what will be ruled a sack. It's his 7.5 now for the veteran from Syracuse. He leads the Ravens.
And I don't think it was a blown play, but I sure don't think Steve McNair, after faking the other way, thought that he was going to come out on some sort of a bootleg, not expecting to see Rob Burnett right in his face. Instead of flattening out and chasing, Burnett did his job, continued upfield and cut it off.
And so Jermaine Lewis drifts back, and here's Hendrick, who has 19 punts inside the 20 this year, just 3 less than the leader, Baltimore's Cal Richardson. Lewis lets it go, and it's going to be covered by the Titans at the 1-yard line. Rodney Thomas, Frank Chamberlain down there to cover it for, and Keith Bullock is the man actually on the ball. The ball was touched, the punt, by the Titans at the 4-yard line, so that's where the Ravens will begin. A 7-0 lead on Trent Dilfer's 46-yard touchdown pass to Kadre Ismail.
Well, can they do something, talking about Tennessee, defensively here, because boy, did they ever squander wonderful field position. They had a 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line and forced the punt without even picking up a first down.
But that's what the Ravens defense has done to opponents. You bet, all season long. They're number 1. Dilfer with the noise building. Hand off to Jamal Lewis, and Lewis plowing his way for about 4 yards. Beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. What a exciting city this is. Building and building new facilities. The Grand Ole Opry and Vanderbilt University. This fantastic facility. Well, I haven't seen any better than this one. Lewis again. And struggling, but a yard at best against Tennessee defense that has its reason to crow as well. Ryan Billick never positive even through that torturous spring where his team just couldn't get in the end zone, and yet was 2-3 in those 5 games. Dilfer underneath, complete to Shannon Sharp, and he has a first down at the 16-yard line.
You have to understand the passing game, know how important that is.
Dilfer scrambling, looking, feeds it into the flat, complete to Sharp, and there's a good example. Sharp kind of coasts off into a open area and waits for his quarterback, gives him a chance for the completion.
He's still number 2 on the all-time receiving list for tight ends.
Dilfer chased, flags down, and he goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line. The flag thrown at midfield.
While the quarterback was still in the pocket, illegal contact by the defense, number 21. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Samari Roll, who leads the Titans with 4 interceptions and has been brilliant this year.
Well, he is a special cornerback. Here he is right here. That's Ismail in front of him. And you can't, sorry, but you just can't do that. You don't get a free shot on a receiver outside that 5-yard zone. And that gave an automatic first down to Baltimore.
This is the fullback, Femi Ayanbadejo, and he has a couple of yards. Doesn't get many chances. That's only his 13th carry of the season. Impressive first quarter for the Ravens. Here's 2nd and long, and Jamal Lewis able to get maybe a yard to the 42-yard line where it'll be 3rd down and 7. Eddie Robinson led the defensive charge for Tennessee. Back to that penalty by Roll, Dan. Last week against Pittsburgh, 14 Tennessee penalties, and it almost cost them. They were able to squeak out a narrow victory, 9-7.
And yet eked out a win. Eking out something they've been doing all year.
Well, champion teams do that, don't they? Dilfer fires, and it's caught. Is he in bounds? Yes, Shannon Sharp somehow staying in bounds as it was deflected by Harry Phoenix, and Sharp with concentration able to clutch it before falling into the Tennessee bench.
Boy, how is this for concentration? Take a look, Shannon working the slot there. He's breaking to the sideline. The coverage, hard to have the coverage a whole lot better than that. But he keeps it alive. It comes off his palms, brings it back in with his left hand. Boy, that is just a spectacular catch by Shannon Sharp. Whoa, that's good stuff.
And a first down at the 49-yard line. Ravens leading 7-0 here in the first quarter. Draw play, and it's Jamal Lewis, a former Volunteer star over in Knoxville, to the 46-yard line.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 87 of the offense. 15 yards, still 2nd down.
Kadri Ismail in a little battle in the secondary, apparently. Remember, it was Roll who chucked him and picked up a penalty earlier in this sequence.
And the penalty actually came about 4 or 5 seconds after the conclusion of the play. A pushing and shoving match about 5 yards away from the ball.
And we expected this game to be very physical. Both sides expressed that.
Look at this. The official on the left side of your screen. Oh, right there. He takes a shot at Marcus Robertson and hits him right in the back of the helmet. The official has already picked up the football and is spotting it. And Kadri Ismail takes a really dumb penalty and costs his team big yardage, 15.
Make that first down 23. First down 23. Lewis, as the Ravens hoping to catch Tennessee looking pass, and he gets about 4 before Eddie Robinson from Alabama State makes the tackle. Fake to Lewis. Dilfer, plenty of time underneath to Ismail, and he's tackled at the Tennessee 49, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10. Randall Godfrey with a stop. It is 3rd and 11. That's Sharp in motion. Dilfer running for his life and throwing. Is it a catch? Yes, to Brandon Stokely. It was Stokely last week against Cincinnati who caught the touchdown pass 14 yards that finally got the Ravens off the perch. Or schneid, if you will.
Off the perch. Well, how about this for a couple of highlight film catches here? We've seen Shannon Sharp do one on the one sideline, and take a look at that catch right there by Brandon Stokely. How spectacular is that body control with the feet?
Stokely.
He looks like Barishnikov up on his toes on the sideline.
It's his third career catch. The other two were for touchdowns. Now Lewis. And Lewis running through tacklers to the 25-yard line and close to another first down.
Look at defensive players around the league, and they say it is a rarity when Jamal Lewis carries the football, and at the end of a play, he is the one being driven back. You don't see that very often. This guy is power with a capital P.
And you know, his adrenaline glands are working today here with coming back to Tennessee. Many of his friends and fans are cheering for him. Second and less than a yard. Lewis toppled at the 23 by Eddie Robinson. It's a first down for Baltimore. Final seconds of this opening quarter. A 46-yard touchdown pass from Trent Dilfer to Kadri Ismail, giving Brian Billick and the Baltimore Ravens the lead. The end of the quarter. It's the Ravens 7 and the Titans nothing. We'll return to the Adelphia Coliseum right after this message. Welcome back. Head coach Brian Billick in his playing days at tight end at BYU in his second season with the Ravens. He's been able to manage through some tough times this season, yet his club playing very well today. They're 6-4, but trailed the Titans by 2.5. After a dominating first quarter, Dilfer to a wide-open Patrick Johnson, and Johnson, the speedster outside, has his first catch inside the 15-yard line.
It's hard to have a better first quarter than the Baltimore Ravens have had here. You're on the road. You're playing against the AFC champions. You outduel them. You have 140 yards offense to their 14, 148 now after that play. You keep the ball for almost 11 minutes of the first quarter. Tennessee has a first down on your own 43, and you make them go 3 and out.
And the handoff inside, and plowing ahead is Lewis again. Fisk trips him up. Well, it looks as if that'll be enough for another Baltimore first down.
And the noisiest stadium in the league, maybe, Dick, can't be a whole lot quieter than it is right now.
It's almost unnerving because they were so loud, and then when the Titans have the ball, it becomes so quiet you can't hear yourself think on one end, and the other you can hear them breathe when the Titans have the ball.
And football's such a funny game. What happens if that curse forcing the fumble from Dilfer, if that's recovered by Tennessee?
Here's Lewis dancing and can't break out of the tackle on the corner as Eddie Robinson there to wrap him up. Dilfer into the flat to Sharp, and he is hit hard by Perry Phoenix and brought down inside the 5 at about the 3-yard line. Another catch for Shannon Sharp.
Well, remember Shannon Sharp, he broke his collarbone last year, then the 5th game, ended up on injured reserve for the Denver Broncos. He felt he had so much to prove. Never thought he'd leave Denver, never thought he'd have to go prove himself, that he still had the ability to play this game someplace else.
It's Lewis up the middle, and the hole closes, and the flag flies. Makes the call.
Offside. Defense lined up in the neutral zone. Number 90. 5 yards, half the distance to the goal. Remains third down.
Half the distance, takes it to almost the 1-yard line, but shy of a first down. As Ian Badejo comes into the lineup. And it's Lewis through a wide open hole and a touchdown. Baltimore jumps out 13-0. And what a tremendous hole for a goal line defense.
And guess where? How about right behind Jonathan Ogden? How about right behind Edwin Nulatalo? And take a look at it right there. And Ben Coates, the tight end of that side. That is a monster hole. And kudos to Sam Gash the best blocking fullback this league has seen in the last 10 years. He was in on it too.
Stover tacks on the extra point. A 96-yard drive, 18 plays. Ravens by 14. A textbook drive by the Baltimore Ravens, 96 yards, 18 plays. 2-yard touchdown run by Jamal Lewis, his second touchdown of the season, as Stover kicks it to Derek Mason. He took the last one back 52 yards. 25. He clever. 35. And finally out of bounds at the 37.5. He was a terrific kick returner at Michigan State. Had 4 touchdown returns.
Let's go to this touchdown by Jamal Lewis. Watch the wipeout to the inside by Mulatalo, to the outside by Ogden, and here comes Sam Gash, and all Jamal Lewis has to do is follow that into the end zone. What a great block by Mulatalo, by Gash, and by Ogden.
Now it's the Titans' turn with George in motion from their own 37. McNair over the middle, complete to Mason, and Mason has a first down at the 49. Tackled by veteran Rod Woodson. The 14-0 deficit staring at Tennessee is their biggest since the Super Bowl when the Rams jumped out 16-0. McNair to throw. Incomplete to the tight end Wycheck. He was covered by Rod Woodson. 2nd and 10 from the 49. Screens it to George. Has some blockers. 40 and a first down at the 37-yard line before Kim Herring and Rod Woodson, the safeties, can get him down. 14-yard play.
Well, they run this screen an awful lot, Eddie George. It's the option screen where Steve McNair has the option of going downfield with it. Instead of following his blockers, Eddie George cuts it back against the grain. There's Ray Lewis trying to get on it, and he gets cut to the ground. That's Lorenzo Neal, the fullback for Tennessee. And any play where Ray Lewis ends up on the ground has a chance of succeeding against Baltimore.
McNair fires incomplete behind the intended receiver, Chris Sanders. And then 2nd and 10. George met the backfield and is dropped for a yard loss, and a flag goes down.
Face mask on the defense, number 90. Incidental face mask, 5 yards, 2nd down.
All right, that call goes against Rob Burnett. And you see he's got his left hand right there. Rob is saying I had his shoulder pad, and that's what it looked like from that angle. It looked like he had hooked the shoulder pad of Eddie George, not his face mask. Rob, I think you've got a legitimate argument there. It didn't look like he had Eddie George's face mask at all, did it, Dick?
Yeah, left hand was on the jersey. Maybe the right hand scraped the face mask. That's the only other possibility. That's Woodson coming up from safety and on the blitz, and he's wraps up McNair. Can't get him down in time, and McNair's strong enough to get rid of the ball, save the sack. Wycheck was closest there, and that's Wycheck, the tight end. And the whistle before the play, and delay of game is the call. They didn't beat the clock.
Delay of game, offense, 5 yards, remains 3rd down.
You know, Dick,
up 3rd and 10.
One of the things that comes to mind when I think about Steve McNair getting away from like Rod Woodson coming in there is that Woodson can't go after the quarterback. You used to be able to go after the quarterback 10 years ago. In other words, you'd come in and you'd put a helmet right on him and you'd go for that kill shot and try to knock him. Now, you've got to be so careful in the way you approach the quarterback. You're seeing more and more quarterbacks using their size in getting away because guys got to come in and try to hit him with his shoulder now.
And you can't hit him high and you can't hit him low.
No, you can't. It's really made it easier for the quarterback to stay alive in a situation.
3rd and 10, the slam to Mason. And Mason tripped up at the 15-yard line as Kim Herring saved the touchdown. But the Tennessee Titans, with their best drive of the game, have gone to the Baltimore 15.
How exciting is Derek Mason when he gets a football, whether it's a kick return, a punt return, or taking a reception in the open field? This kid brings an electricity to everything he does. He gets away from Robert Bailey right away. And you're right, Herring's tackle saved the touchdown. But this guy Derek Mason, watch out for him. He is exciting.
Well, the Titans, his own teammates calling him the most valuable player this season. First down from the 15. Flip it in the flat. And George, rudely met at the 15, falls forward for a yard. Ray Lewis made the tackle, listed at 245. He told us yesterday he's closer to 255. McNair firing, complete, but immediately hit is Aaron Kinney, the rookie tight end at the 10-yard line. Let's see where they spot progress. Oh, they're going to give it down to... It's going to be right at the 10. Outside the 10 as Herring made the stop. You know, we're talking about Ray Lewis. He said, you know, defensive, they all have their goals and they're proud of this and that. But he said, what we really are proudest of is the fact no one has rushed for 100 yards against our defense 27 straight games. And there is the reminder, warned by the man trying to do it today, number 27, Eddie George. He has 1 yard rushing so far. McNair, end zone, touchdown, Derek Mason.
And Derek Mason into the stands doing the Nashville leap. And keep in mind, here's a guy, if it wasn't for injuries to Yancey Thigpen, to Carl Pickens, wasn't even figuring very much into the Tennessee passing attack. And now he has become the go-to guy for this football team.
And didn't he seem to be wide open on every play that entire drive?
He sure did.
63 yards on the drive, 10 yards on the touchdown.
That was a bullet from Steve McNair. That was a beautifully thrown ball.
Extra point by veteran Al Del Greco. And they cut the Baltimore lead in half. 63 yards and 9 plays. It's 14-7. Back in Nashville with the Ravens leading the Titans 14-7. That's a 63-yard scoring drive for Tennessee in 9 plays. Mason with his 4th touchdown catch of the year. Dilfer double clutches and then throws incomplete, and rocked was sharp on a big hit from Blaine Bishop. He's made a career of that. On 2nd and 10, Trent Dilfer. And into the flat, and another drop. This one by Sam Gash, who doesn't get many chances, has only 1 catch all year. 3rd and 10. Baltimore 5 for 7 on 3rd down conversions in this half. Dilfer down the middle, and another drop, and wide open was Patrick Johnson, and he had the speed to take that one all the way for a touchdown.
Now Patrick Johnson, the fastest of the Baltimore receivers, and just runs a post pattern, and Dilfer delivers a perfect strike. You saw it was tipped right at the last moment.
Perry
Phoenix got a, boy, he altered the ball just enough that Patrick Johnson wasn't able to bring it in. Boy, Perry Phoenix didn't get more than about an inch of an index finger on that ball.
He saved 7 points. No fair catch, and Korush this time is today's star. Division leading Titans, who have won 8 in a row since their opening loss at Buffalo. And the Ravens dominating on the ground, but McNair's passes moving the Titans quickly to score to cut into that 14-0 lead. Boulware moves up on the line of scrimmage, and here's Eddie George ripping off the biggest gain on the ground thus far for the Titans. He's been held quiet. Sharper and Lewis with a tackle. 10 yards now, 3 carries for George. 2nd and short. McNair, the quickie, complete. And Chris Sanders has the first down across the 45-yard line into the arms of Peter Boulware. Lewis backing him up. Well, Steve McNair, he's really stayed close to home. Grew up in a little town in Mississippi, Mount Olive, less than 1,000 people. We said, how did you get 30 interceptions in high school? He said, well, we only had 22 go out for football. Won the state championship. He was the star on offense, the star on defense. Now owns a 450-acre ranch at Mount Olive.
They said he played in the smallest class in the state, 1A. They went all the way up to 5A. So can you imagine how an athlete like Steve McNair must have dominated at that level?
2nd and 9. Scrambles and fires. complete to Wycheck, and his leading receiver, Wycheck, has his first catch of the day and a first down at the Baltimore 43. 14-7 Baltimore, 5 minutes and change left first half. McNair guns it complete, and Sanders has another first down inside the 30. Former Ohio State star, he played with Eddie George on those great teams of the Buckeyes. George's turn, and nothing there. Did he fumble? They're scrambling as if that's a loose ball, and no signal yet from the officials, although the Ravens claim they haven't.
I heard no whistle, though.
Kerry says first down Baltimore. The Ravens recover as Sharper and Burnett made the hit on George, and the Ravens, who have specialized in just this, that's their 14th fumble recovered this year, they lead the NFL.
I think Michael McCrary came up with the football, but it's where they hit Eddie George. There is nothing here. This is at the line of scrimmage. Baltimore wins the battle. Eddie has nowhere to go, doesn't even get back, and yes, the ball was clearly out. You could see it come out before he hits the ground. Looks like Jamie Sharper got his right hand right on the football, and Michael McCrary comes up with it. Boy, just when Tennessee looked like they really had the momentum back in their corner.
And a rare fumble from Eddie George. From the 30, Dilfer to Lewis, Jamal Lewis, and he's ridden down after a gain of a yard or two by Eddie Robinson. Here's an update on Lewis. He's carried 13 times this first half for 44 yards. Dilfer, and not close on that strike, intended for Kadri Ismail along the sidelines. Now third down and 9 for the Ravens, who lead 14-7. 6 defensive backs for the Titans. Here comes Kearse. They finally block him, and the throw complete over the middle. And it's Patrick Johnson for a first down on the 44 of Baltimore. From the 44, Lewis finds a hole and slides outside of the 48. A gain of 4. Robinson makes another tackle for the Titans. Ryan Billick replaced Ted Marcher Brothers, the head man in Baltimore. And the Titans here in the second quarter. The Ravens a big first period. Dilfer going down the middle, wide open. Ben Coates, and the veteran tight end has a first down inside the 25-yard line. Trent Dilfer with Coates to the sidelines. Dilfer is crushed for a sack, and that is a coverage sack as charging in was Keith Embry.
Because that was a big shot, and that's a case where Dilfer, I think, maybe trying to do a little too much. It's not there. It's not there. It's not. Get rid of the ball. Throw it away.
Second down. It's Lewis, and that didn't fool anyone as he stacked up for little or no gain. Eddie Robinson, who's had a bushel basket full of tackles here in this first half. On third down, Dilfer fires short gainer to Shannon Sharp.
And Javon Kearse back in the game and back in Trent Dilfer's face.
Whoa, was he ever?
Oh, did you see him leap over that block? I think that was Ian Badejo tries to cut him, and Javon has none of that.
1:06 left before the half. Timeout. Javon Kearse, 6'4", 265, 40-inch vertical.
Well, we saw him, Dick, take that devastating shot in the back. Look at him here as he comes up, and he is all over Trent Dilfer. Ian Badejo has got to do a better job of taking his legs out from under him there. Dilfer's lucky he survived that. But Javon Kearse, what a hit he took. And to think that he's back in the game that quickly. Boy, this showing a little toughness there.
Here comes Matt Stover to try a long field goal, 50 yards plus. Is it straight? Yes. Is it long? Yes. And Stover has done it again. nearly matching 51-yarder, his longest of this season. He was the man, of course, during that 5 games where they didn't score a touchdown. He scored all 49 points, and because of that, they were 2-3.
Well, Matt Stover really drills that thing in there. Here's a guy that's a Baltimore Raven, but along with Rob Burnett was a Cleveland Brown and made the trip to Baltimore. That puts Matt 26 of 28 on the season. How is that for consistency? Tennessee was giving every impression, Dick, that they were on their way to tie it up at 14 all.
Derek Mason comes up to take it at the 16, a very short kick, trying to pin him on the sidelines. Now he cuts back the other way and has got an open field. He's at the 30, 35, 40. Oh, a marvelous run. How can they not love Derek Mason here in Nashville?
Boy, and you talk about his teammates calling him their most valuable player. No kidding. What a feel he has. A lot of guys can reverse their field, but knowing when to do it and when you got to look at this. He's all the way a yard from going out of bounds, and this play ends up with him going out of bounds on the other side of the field.
Well, sideline to sideline's over 53 yards. He got 31 forward, and
look how he set up his blockers, allowed both of them to pick up a block and give him another 5 or 6 yards.
He's got well in the lead for all-purpose yards in the NFL this year, Derek Mason. All the way out to the 46-yard line with 50 seconds left in this first half. Over the middle, wide check. Tackle at the 46 of Baltimore. A hurry-up offense for McNair. 30 seconds. McNair underneath to Thomas. Very short game, and they're going to say incomplete. The ball hit the ground as Ray Lewis put the hit on Rodney Thomas. The clock stops 22 seconds, and 2 timeouts left for Tennessee.
Boy, what a great battle going on out there between left tackle Brad Hopkins and Michael McCrary. Take a look at this. McCrary gets into Hopkins. Hopkins gets some help back from the inside from Matthews, and then Hopkins goes right after him. That you got to do that with Michael McCrary. He will dig a trench to the quarterback to try to sack him.
Well, then Hopkins confirmed that. He said he's never played against anyone with a motor like McCrary. No. He just won't quit.
No, when he's on the ground, you get on top of him because he will get back up.
Third down, about 2.5 for McNair. He airs it out. And a leaping catch by Chris Sanders. And out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Make it the 7. As he outleaps Dwayne Starks with 15 seconds to go.
Now Chris Sanders at 6'1" has the height. He's to the top of your screen, locked up with Dwayne Starks. Starks knows he has help long, and Kim Herring just doesn't get there in a position to make a play on the football. Starks lets him go because he knows he has help over the top. Kim Herring has to get there. Again, watch McCrary crawl all the way to McNair. Got him by the ankles, but the damage had already been done. Steve had let it go.
Spread formation. McNair lofts it, and a flag goes down as Yancey Thigpen was the intended receiver.
Illegal contact. Defense, number 21. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
11 seconds left.
Okay, take a look at this right here. Number 82 is Yancey Thigpen. He makes his break back to the outside.
And watch McNair. Sam Adams gets his 330 pounds on him. Ball on the 4-yard line. Half the distance on the penalty. First and goal. McNair fires over the intended receiver Mike Leach's head. Frank Wycheck, both tight ends were in the area. Lionel Dalton and Sam Adams. Good penetration, the 2 tackles inside for Baltimore. Well, 8 seconds.
Yep. The routes that come into mind now are the fade, where you try to just have the guy head for the back corner and loft up a softball, see if he can jump up and get it, or some type of a pattern where you try to get a rub off. That's also known as a pick, where you end up with a free receiver. A pick, of course, is illegal. A rub-off is accidental.
Rodney Thomas and Lorenzo Neal behind McNair. Pumps, fires, and it's a touchdown to Lorenzo Neal. His first of the year.
Well, Lorenzo Neal, that's only his second reception of the year. Not the guy that you're looking for in a clutch situation to be the go-to guy. Lorenzo Neal, a blocking fullback, now gets his moment in the sun.
And how big is that, getting momentum building at the end of the half going into the locker room?
Well, it helps to really compensate for that Eddie George fumble when it looked like they were going in on the prior possession.
Del Greco now for the extra point to pull the Titans within 3.
Looked like there was contact in there. I don't know who moved.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 91. Charges in the neutral zone, causing an immediate reaction by an offensive player. That foul will be assessed on the kickoff. The score is good.
He hadn't kicked it yet.
Well, he was saying that can't be a kick. Yes, that can't be a kick. If the guy moved, that's a false start. Even if he was, it's not a false start, but if he moved prior to the snap, the whistles blow. The call was that he was drawn off sides by a neutral zone infraction by the defense. So you have to kick it again. Mike was just teasing us there with that.
And the kick is good by Del Greco. 17-14. McNair getting an early exit from this first half to the locker room. Here's the touchdown pass to Neal.
All right, let's take a look at it from high above in the end zone. Great play action fake. And the block got McCreary out of his face, and it's just running to the pylon by Lorenzo Neal. And again, why? This is not, when the Ravens were back in their huddle, this is not the guy they're thinking about is going to get the ball.
Not an easy catch for a man who isn't thrown to that often.
No, it's not. Shows a lot of confidence by the Titans and Jeff Fisher in going to Lorenzo Neal in that situation. The last guy that the Baltimore defense was figuring would touch the football.
Hendrick to kick it off, and the Ravens come up tight, anticipating that Hendrick might onside, and does. Just squibs one down, and there's a fumble recovered quickly by Baltimore at the 38-yard line. Anthony Poindexter, and the muff covered by the Ravens as the first half comes to an end. The 17 points, the most allowed by Tennessee in the first half all season. That's the bad news for Titan fans. The good news is Steve McNair has rallied them with a couple of touchdown passes. It's 17-14. And the kickoff as the Titans get the ball first here in the second half. And the ever dangerous Derek Mason, who played at Michigan State. 20. And finally runs out of room, and a flag goes down at the 25, and another flag follows it.
Flags all over.
Holding by the return team, number 28. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Eric Morris, the rookie from Michigan State, guilty of the hold. So they start inside the 15 to the Titans, and Eddie George, the welcoming committee, greeting him immediately again. And the guy that's been opening the door is Ray Lewis. He was a Florida high school wrestling champion, state champion, and he really got his man pinned in a hurry on that one. George across the 15, couple of yards before Rod Woodson can come up to support from his safety spot. Third down and a long 8. There looking for Wycheck. There he is, and he's hit immediately at the 20-yard line. Shy of the first down is Chris McAllister with a good low tackle. Jermaine Lewis back at the 37 of Baltimore as Craig Hendrick delivers the punt. Boy, that just sounded good, and it is good. Wow! All the way back to the 15-yard line. To the 20 and to the 26-yard line. Fans wanted a penalty, but the blocker appeared to get in front of the Titan defensive man. Ravens start from their own 26 after that booming punt by Hendrick, and Jamal Lewis gets just a couple on first down. Lewis again.
And he burrows out to the 35, a yard shy of a first down behind the block of Sam Gash. Empty backfield, Dilfer complete. And it's to Jermaine Lewis, the little scat back, the 5'7" Lewis from the University of Maryland. Squirts out to the 47-yard line before Bishop can get him down. First down for Dilfer and Lewis at the 47-yard line. Dilfer 12 for 19 in the game. And a touchdown. Lewis back in, being chased by Curse. Look at Curse. I mean, relentlessly chasing him to the sidelines and almost creating a fumble situation at midfield. Second and 6. Underneath, complete. And it's Shannon Sharp, a short gainer to the 46-yard line. And for Sharp, that is his 6th catch and 600 in his career.
I think I'll take a couple plays off. Try to regroup.
Third and 3, underneath, complete, and it'll be another first down, this time to Kadri Ismail, and he's bowled over in pain.
And a lot of times he'll come down on the football, and sometimes that'll either land in an inappropriate spot or land right in your midsection and knock the wind out of you. Sometimes it's a football that'll do a lot of damage.
Ismail got the Ravens flying early with a 46-yard touchdown catch from Dilfer in the first period. Dilfer, perfect on this drive, has led the Ravens inside the Titan 40-yard line. Priest Holmes now in the backfield, and he gets the call. Here's Holmes, a solid runner himself. He has over 400 yards on the season. Second down, Baltimore, just outside the Tennessee 35. Play action for Dilfer. Incomplete. His receivers well covered. Sharp was the man he wanted to go to. Eddie Robinson from his linebacker spot putting pressure on the quarterback. Ravens who have not been that effective on third down. Very good today, and almost a mishap on the exchange between quarterback Dilfer and Ayan Badejo. Yeah, they'll not go for the field goal. As Richardson sends it high, and the fair catch by Mason at the 10-yard line. It would have been about a 52, 53-yard field goal. 7:30 left, third quarter. Baltimore by 3. The Nashville chapter of the Dan Deerdorf fan club out there on the bridge beyond the stands on the far side.
That's actually a smoking section up there. They can see about 5 yards of the field. They can't see this.
George ran the wrong way. Now, if he'd gone to the left, they could have at least caught a piece of it.
This is a non-smoking stadium here, Adelphia Coliseum, and so people who need a hit, they got to walk outside and stand on that deck up there. And by my vantage point, I would say that they could see just about this much of the field over. And now that is what I call a limited sight seat.
Selective viewing.
You better get down here in this one corner of the end zone, or they're just not seeing it at all.
Well, George isn't seeing many holes. He's got 15 yards rushing and 8 carries. He goes in motion now. 2nd and 8. There, lots of time. And what a catch! I believe, yes, it is ruled a catch. As Derek Mason bobbling it, appeared to hit him on the back. That was remindful of the game Monday night in Green Bay, won in overtime.
Yeah, Antonio Freeman got the bounce on Monday night. This time, Eric, really a good ball by Steve McNary. Delivers it right, and look at Mason. Fortunately, no one from Baltimore was close enough to him to disrupt him and stand with the football. But the umpire was right there. He had a really good vantage point, made a good call.
4 catches now, 50 yards for Mason. It's third and a short 3. That appeared to might be deflected by Tony Siragusa at the line of scrimmage. Yancey Thigpen was trying to find a crease down the middle. That last one was a boomer. This one didn't sound quite as clean. A dying spiral. Fair catch, Jermaine Lewis. possession, first down, Trent Dilfer. And he finds an open man, Ismail, but he can't hold on as Samari Roll in coverage for the Titans. Ismail will be credited with a drop on that one. 2nd and 10. Out of the backfield is Lewis. Boy, nice move. He is shifty for a man carrying over 230 pounds. And the former Volunteer star back here in Tennessee has a first down before Marcus Robertson can make the tackle near midfield. 15 yards on that pass reception to the Baltimore 47. Another play action out of the backfield. Lewis again fumbles the ball, but he had been ruled down at the 49. Make that Sam Gash, who has just come in to relieve Lewis. And 2nd and 8. And it's Priest Holmes. And Holmes darting up the middle inside the 45-yard line. Good job by the Titans all year, 4th in the league defensively, but the Ravens here in the 3rd quarter have already surpassed the average. 3rd down, incomplete, intended for Brandon Stokely. A gutsy play call over the middle for Stokely, and he was knocked away by Blaine Bishop.
Well, Blaine Bishop sees this coming a mile away. Why, he's going to just sit on this. Take a look at him come up in there, and it could have been caught by Stokely, but he knew that Bishop was coming in right behind him. It's one of the things that when Brian Billick talked to Shannon Sharp about joining this team, he said, can you handle Blaine Bishop?
Fair catch by Derek Mason. Not an easy catch as he collects it at the 14-yard line. Another punt inside the 20 for Kyle Richardson. 3.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. 17-14 Baltimore. Field position in this 2nd half. Titans average start 12-yard line. They're on the 14 this time. Nair ducks away from pressure. Look at this. Very crafty in his move across the 15 and avoided the sack.
Once again, great field position for Baltimore.
From the 43, Dilfer has it knocked out of his hands by Kearse, and it goes to Baltimore. If they're calling that a fumble, no signal yet. Kearse reaching around and batting it out of the quarterback's hands. It was being caromed off several players and finally into the arms of Jamal Lewis.
Well, there was no indication by the officials that this was a forward pass. Again, Trent Dilfer back. He's getting ready to throw, but his arm hit. The ball comes out before he starts his forward motion, and Kenny Holmes, trying to keep that thing alive, bats it right to Lewis.
Becomes a 1-yard loss on the play.
Kenny Holmes trying to get that ball, just 4 different times bounced it to Jamal Lewis.
And Lewis straight ahead. If it gets the yard back, it'll be 3rd and 10. Dilfer underneath, complete, and it's Gash. Sam Gash close to the sticks at the 47-yard line of the Titans, and that's the end of the 3rd quarter. Baltimore 17, Tennessee 14. We'll return after this word from your local station. And we're back in Nashville, and the kick by Richardson, fair catch Mason, and again the Titans have to start deep in their own end, this time from the 9-yard line. A 39-yard punt, no return. Tennessee starts from its 9-yard line. Look at Sam Adams digging in. And the toss to George. He's able to break a couple of tackles and drive out across the 15-yard line to the 16. A flag down, however.
Holding offense number 72. Half the distance to the goal. Remains first down.
You can see on the season the rushing offense equal for these two teams, but only 17 yards today as McNair retreats into his own end zone and he's throwing out to Kenny and almost intercepted, but a flag down. Jamie Sharper, the linebacker, drifting back with Kenny, the tight end.
Pass interference. Defense number 55. Automatic.
Brian Billick can't hardly have believed this call. Let's see if we can take a close look at this again. Jamie Sharper there, number 55. Let's watch him as he rolls with Kenny. Oh, I don't see that. I don't see that. Sharper had the position back to the inside. Ooh, that is, I think Brian Billick's got a reason to be upset about that.
That's a first down out to the 25-yard line. Fake to George. McNair scrambling. Oh, what a block on Boulware, and McNair slides with a first down at the 38-yard line.
Benji Olsen, the right guard, comes back and he wipes out Peter Boulware. Whoa, there's a timely block. Let's check this out. There's number 75, the right guard. Watch him, he's out of the picture. He's going to get up off the ground. Whack. That's getting up and getting active. And McNair's right there. Look at that shot. Boy, that was, boy, you dream about that as an offensive lineman, getting a clean lick like that out in the open field.
Olsen played with the Huskies of Washington. McNair with the longest run today by the Titans. Now he throws, dropped by Kinney. Tried to catch it and run before it had it collected at the 50-yard line. McNair throwing off his back foot for Mason and almost intercepted by Dwayne Starks. And actually Mason played defender against the Raven cornerback. McNair down the middle and complete to Wycheck, and he has a first down at the Baltimore 37.
And now for the entire third quarter, bad field position for Tennessee. And now with a couple big plays, they have erased that. Now they're in Baltimore's side of the field. Big target right here, Frank Wycheck. So adept at working the zone. That's his specialty. And then he holds on to the football, taking a big hit at the end of it. Right over the outstretched fingertips of Ray Lewis. And look at that pop right at the end from Rod Woodson.
The Titans, since the first quarter, had the advantage, and there's the reason. McNair's arm, and another completion to Derek Mason, hit immediately by Chris McAllister. Close to another Tennessee first down. It is. Titans trying to preserve their unbeaten record here at this stadium. The 2 years, the toss to George, and he fights his way to the 20-yard line. 20 yards now for him in the game on 9 carries.
Only 9 carries today, though. When you look at 34 last week, and then you know that they'd like to get it to him at least 25.
McNair throws low to George as he had to get rid of it as pressure from Lionel Dalton and Rob Burnett.
And look at Steve McNair, boy. He's walking right up to his offensive line, and he's doing some barking. And I don't blame him. The minute he gets back to set up in the pocket, he's got 3 Baltimore Ravens in his face.
3rd and 5. Scrambles, throws to Wycheck, hit immediately at the 13 and driven back by Ray Lewis, but it's a first down for Tennessee. Now George, and pushed out of bounds after a solid run by Rod Woodson as they went to the short side, the weak side. Same play. And he's close to the 5-yard line. Neal and George behind McNair. George cuts back and runs right into Adams, and he may have fumbled. And it is covered by Tennessee. Ooh, that nervous moment for fans as Adams and Siragusa pinching in on George, who fumbled in the first half, a costly fumble. Here's the short field goal by Del Greco. And he jams it through, and we have a tie game. 17-all with 8:23 left in the fourth quarter. High game in Nashville at 17. That was a long 86-yard drive in 12 plays to tie it on the short field goal by Al Del Greco. The punter, Hendrick, kicks it off. And Corey Harris, who owns a restaurant here in Nashville, is the return man. Patiently waits for a slot and takes it all the way out to the 37-yard line. Tackled by Terry Killens. Baltimore's Grand Canyon-sized tackle is back. Jonathan Ogden, his ankle heavily taped. Starting from the 37, Dilfer. Down he goes on the rush from John Thornton. Thornton, the defensive tackle, his 4th sack of the year.
Here comes the crowd.
3 sacks by the Titans today. 2nd down and 17. It's Lewis finding some daylight. Runs right by tacklers and then fumbles the ball. And he catches it and recovers it. Oh, my. You couldn't do that if you tried. If you gave him 100 more chances, he couldn't do that.
I can't believe I just saw that. First of all, Jamal Lewis breaking tackle after tackle. Keep in mind, this was a 2nd and 17. He breaks tackle. He gets away from Javon Curse at the line of scrimmage. And I don't... Does he get hit, or does he just throw it out himself?
I think he just throws it away here. Yep, just kind of...
Well, I'm not sure. It looked like Randall Godfrey got a right hand on the ball and popped it up. But let's see, I think Godfrey gets his right hand. Yes, yeah, right there. Does. And he knocks it out, but amazingly, Lewis gets it back. That's miraculous.
And a 30-yard gain to the 40. He gets it again and plows for 6 to the 34-yard line. Denard Walker made the tackle.
Well, you won't see this happen very often. First of all, the converting of the 1st down and 2nd and long. Watch that right hand. There it comes right up, right on the tail of the football. Randall Godfrey, the middle linebacker of Tennessee, knocks it loose. And Greg Favors sees the ball. Everybody sees it, but so does Jamal Lewis.
96 yards now for Lewis. George only 28. 2nd and 4. Lewis trying to get outside. And a flag down, and it appeared to be holding.
Holding. Offense, number 82. 10-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
It's a majority penalty. So it becomes 2nd and 15. Back to the Titan 45 as this sellout crowd of 68,000 plus back into it. And Lewis met with Priest Holmes, met in the backfield by Joe Salavea, the defensive tackle from Arizona. 3rd and 18 against 6 defensive backs. Dilfer. He won't get away from Curse.
No, he didn't get away from Curse, but he didn't do anything stupid with the football either. That was a smart play by Dilfer.
Richardson's punt. And Mason takes it at the 10 on the run. And he is hit hard at the 18-yard line. Now the Titans have the ball. 4:27 remaining in the 4th quarter. It's tied in Nashville.
Well, Eddie George hasn't been a factor in this game yet. There's still time.
Wycheck, the tight end, in motion from the 18-yard line. McNair. Incomplete on the run, too tall for Derek Mason. And McNair from the shotgun. We haven't seen much of that. Chased out of the pocket. And Boulware forces the fumble. Boulware forces the fumble, and the Ravens have it. A big turnover at the 23-yard line.
Well, that time, the Ravens decided to go with just a 3-man rush. They drop 8, so there's no pass rush here on Steve McNair. He's not forced to leave the pocket. He just goes on his own trying to find somebody open, and what a job by Peter Boulware chasing him down. I don't know if McNair did not sense that Boulware coming from behind him. No, he didn't. He never saw him.
A complete pickpocket, and then Adalius Thomas, the rookie from Southern Mississippi, falls on the football. And the Ravens with a huge opportunity now on the fumble recovery at the 22. 4 minutes left in the quarter. This the 4th.
And there was a look, by the way, at the prevent defense when it worked.
Jamal Lewis close to the 20, a couple of yards, and into the arms of Randall Godfrey. Dilfer, 2nd and 9. Lewis, and the Titans jamming the center of that defense, and yards tough to buy. Jason Fisk and Javon Curson and others. And here are the standings as we start today. Tennessee leading by 2.5 over Baltimore, unbeaten in the division, with Pittsburgh at 5-4. And again, if you're just joining us, the Titans have an incredible record here at this new stadium, Adelphia Coliseum, winning 12 in a row regular season. That is a modern day record. You have to go all the way back to 1920. The Buffalo Americans won 13 in a row. Dilfer picked off. It's Perry Phoenix. Phoenix. Can he go all the way? He's got a blocker. Touchdown. The Music City Miracle strikes again. 88 yards for Perry Phoenix.
You know how when you were a little kid and you played baseball and you learned they put it on a tee right there in front of you so you could hit it? I don't know how it could be much easier for Perry Phoenix than this ball he gets thrown by Trent Dilfer.
Now Del Greco's try for point. Hits the upright, no good.
Hello.
He had been perfect all season, 21 for 21, and the extra point hits the upright, no good.
All right, here we go. Trent Dilfer looking to his left all the way. And he just, for some reason, doesn't see Phoenix. Looks like he's trying to get the ball to Patrick Johnson, number 83. And what a job by Samari Roll of coming over and wiping out Johnson. All right, let's look at it one more time. There's Patrick Johnson, number 83, and Dilfer never sees Perry Phoenix, who's got the underneath coverage. Now that time they changed up. The corner was taking the deep coverage. The safety was working underneath, and Trent Dilfer did not see that coming. What a changeup by the Titans in the secondary, and Perry Phoenix gets the biggest play of his career.
So after Boulware forces the fumble of McNair, it appeared that the Ravens in position at least for the field goal to give them the lead, and then the 88-yard touchdown run with the interception by Perry Phoenix.
And let's
his first career interception, by the way. What a way to break in.
What a way to break in. But with 2.5 minutes left in this football game, Baltimore with all 3 of their timeouts remaining and a touchdown and an extra point would win the game for the Ravens. That extra point miss is large.
Here comes Corey Harris. And Harris hammered at the 30-yard line by Bobby Myers. Defensive back from Wisconsin, a rookie, number 32.
As Dick said, Al Del Greco has been perfect all season. A good snap, a perfect hold. He just duck hooks this thing to the left and does not get the favorable boink. Oh, and Al right now knows he has put his club in a precarious spot.
And he gives to Priest Holmes, and Holmes able to get just inches.
Flag.
Incidental face mask, defense, number 78. 5 yards, still first down.
John Thornton. Curse. And Holmes able to make the catch, but for only a 1-yard gain as Curse flying in on quarterback Trent Dilfer. Al Del Greco up missing after Perry Phoenix goes 87 yards with the interception.
Well, that's exactly where Baltimore's trying to go right now. They got 64 yards to go to Pater.
Underneath to Priest Holmes, and Holmes has a first down and a flag down.
Illegal formation, offense, number 70, and an eligible number was lined up as an eligible position. 5-yard penalty, Second down.
Ball at the 31, second down and 9. Dilfer going long. Incomplete, and the flag is going to be, I believe, against Baltimore's Patrick Johnson. He was doing the pushing on Denard Walker.
Interference. Offense. Number 83. 10 yards. Main second down.
Now, Jeff Fisher's got an interesting dilemma. I guess he'll take the 10 yards, and it'll stay 7. Watch it right here at the end. Right there. He grabs him around the midsection, pushes him from behind. No question about that call.
Priest Holmes in for Jamal Lewis as Dilfer throws now to Holmes, and Holmes to the 30 and tripped at the 35-yard line, 5 yards shy of a first down.
Again, Brian Billick has seen his team repeatedly hurt themselves with penalties today, and of course they were in a position to, at the very least, kick a field goal to take the lead until that horrendous throw by Trent Dilfer.
1:34 left in the fourth quarter. Third down and 5. Dilfer goes deep for Sharp, and Shannon Sharp is out of bounds at the 29 in Tennessee territory, and that's the combination, Dilfer and Sharp. Sharp over 600 catches in his career. He has 7 today. And Al Del Greco, who hadn't missed an extra point in 6 years, hit the upright after the Phoenix interception touchdown, and that gives the Ravens hope of a touchdown extra point and a victory. This, the noisiest of crowds in the NFL. They're making their voices heard as Dilfer screens it. And tripped up is Jermaine Lewis at the 26-yard line by Perry Phoenix. Empty backfield on 2nd and 7. Dilfer has to hurry, gets it underneath to Shannon Sharp, trying to get out of bounds. Who is he hit? And he does not get off the field of play. Denard Walker with a vicious hit. Some serious hitting, that's for certain.
A little more evenly matched today, and Al Del Greco right now is got a major sweat going, even though it's a nice cool day.
He is rooting for his defense. Third down and 1. No timeouts left. Baltimore, 58 seconds. Officially 3rd and 2. It's not that much. Dilfer to the end zone. Oh, Ismael off his fingertips as he tried to make a leaping catch, and Dilfer thought he had a touchdown.
Well, Trent Dilfer had double coverage underneath, so he knows his only chance is to loft it over the top of that, which means you're either going to have a highlight film catch or you'll have the incompletion. That's exactly where Dilfer has to put that football. Anything short of that, he runs the risk of an interception.
It comes down to this could be the big play of the game. 4th and a yard and a half.
I don't think, if I'm the Ravens, the first down, I wouldn't go to the end zone. Move these chains, pick up a yard and a half, and then get up there and spike the ball, and then take your shots at the end zone.
Dilfer, and a collision and a flag as he tried to hit Ismael. Danon Sidney, the defensive back, an extra defensive back.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 37. Automatic. First down.
This is going to spot the ball at the 1 or 2 yard line, and no question about it. Look at that. Danon Sidney just runs right. Oh, that's as blatant as it can be. And Baltimore really took a chance in going to the end zone again rather than go ahead and picking up the first down, making the play for just a couple yards, and it paid off.
Yeah, between Billick and Dilfer, we're seeing some real intestinal fortitude on those calls. Now it's 1st and goal at the 2-yard line with 49 seconds left. Titans lead by 6.
Again, no timeouts.
Jamal Lewis can't get in. And Billick saying, hurry up, get out of the pile. The clock is running.
You need to get in the end zone. Of course, they're getting little cooperation from the Titans there. No rush to get up.
Precious seconds, and they'll spike this one. So the clock stopped. Brings up 3rd down with 29 seconds left. Boy, the management of a game, when you look at Billick on one sidelines and Fisher on the other, to get down to a chess match with the game on the line, football is 2 yards away from a possible Baltimore victory.
And Baltimore, Dick, loses one play down here by having to spike the ball because of Harry Swain's injury. That cost them their final timeout that they would still have at their disposal.
Dilfer throws, touchdown to Shannon Sharp. Oh my, another big catch for the tight end Sharp.
And what do we hear from Trent Dilfer yesterday when we talked to him?
Oh wait, it's Patrick Johnson who slips in there. Johnson 83, not 82 Sharp. And it's a man that has only caught 5 passes all year long. He's playing because of the injury to rookie Travis Taylor. Here he is with what might be the winning catch.
But the full rollout by Dilfer, and Dilfer can move. He's a guy that's comfortable out of the pocket, and he finds Patrick Johnson streaking through there. And again, you see the official come flying in here to stop this. This is being reviewed now, we've been told, from up in the box. Remember, inside 2 minutes of either half, it's an automatic review if they want to take a look at it, and I guess they're going to look at the feet of Patrick Johnson, as will we. Let's take a look at it. Johnson, number 83. There's the ball. Well, the left foot was in. From that angle, it's tough to see where he placed the right foot and if he dragged it. Let's look at it here. This ought to be a little more definitive.
Caught it with the right down. There's the left.
Well, from the end zone. All right, we see the right was in. We saw there definitively the right was in. Now let's look at this one, which ought to tell us better about the left.
Right's in.
There's the right. It looks to me like that's run it on through, guys. If we could run it on through, that's a touchdown.
If it does go and we wait the extra point to break the tie, Tennessee has 1 timeout left and only 25 seconds on the clock. But they also have the best kickoff return man in the NFL, Derek Mason. This is really quiet now as this sellout, silent as they await the word from referee Carey.
Well, is that all plays? You start with the call.
The receiver's second foot was down inbound with possession. Touchdown.
Not what they wanted to hear.
No, but that was a pretty definitive look that we saw.
Patrick Johnson's first touchdown of the season.
And Al Del Greco, who hasn't missed an extra point since 1993, is now just a helpless observer.
It's up to Matt Stover, and Baltimore takes the lead. 24-23, the Ravens, and this very vociferous crowd in Nashville suddenly deadly silent.
Again, the rollout all the way by Trent Dilfer. Sees the streaking Patrick Johnson moving parallel to him. And an outstanding job of Johnson getting his feet down. And a team that went 21 quarters without scoring a touchdown. They had 3 last week because of Trent Dilfer's play. And Trent Dilfer again leads them to a 24-point performance here today.
Well, you back as you look at Del Greco. You talked about Patrick Johnson. Well, here's the miss by Del Greco earlier.
Everything was right. The hold was right. The snap was good, and he just hooks it over and hits that left upright.
Now Derek Mason, who's had a couple of sparkling returns in this game, and he leads the NFL in kickoff returns. He moves up inside the 15-yard line, and it's a line driver that goes to the short man. And here comes Chris Coleman, a wide receiver, just activated, and he gets good field position for the Titans, but only 19 seconds remain.
Now Tennessee does have a timeout, and that is huge. Tennessee's timeout right now is monstrous because a long completion to the middle of the field will give Del Greco a shot. So Steve McNair does not have to just work the sidelines. He has the entire field at his disposal.
And Del Greco's longest this year is 46, but he has made one 56 as his career long. McNair shotgun. 3 wides to the left. Throws to the sidelines, complete to Eddie George, and George out of bounds at the 46-yard line. 13 seconds left. Oh, he must be salivating, Del Greco. How desperate he must want to have a chance to kick the winning field goal.
Well, here they are. They need about 15 yards, Dick. They need about a 15-yard completion to get it down around the 30-yard line or so. That would give Del Greco about a 45, 47-yard or something in that area. And again, critically, they do have a timeout.
Very loose defense, 3-man rush for Baltimore. And McNair scrambling. Oh, what a run by McNair to the 25-yard line. And they stop the clock with 3 seconds left.
Throughout this 8-game winning streak for Tennessee, Steve McNair has made timely plays. He avoids the 3-man rush. Right here, though, is what's really critical. He breaks a couple of tackles downfield and immediately splashing for the timeout.
That was 10 more yards. After Rob Burnett had him, he gained 10 more yards, and that could be the difference with a winning field goal or a missed field goal. Now it'll be about 42 yards. Had he been tackled by Burnett, it would have been 52 yards. This year, between 40 and 49, Del Greco has made 4 of 6.
Al, nobody will remember the extra point if you drill this one.
What a game, living up to all the expectations, and the Titans on the foot of Del Greco have a chance to keep their record pure at home. They have not lost in 2 seasons here, 12 straight if you count the playoff 13, and Del Greco trying to make it 14.
How important was it that Tennessee had a timeout left?
42 yards. Oh my, misses to the right. And Baltimore celebrates. Like a bunch of high school kids, the Ravens on the far side surround their coach Brian Billick. And what a tough late afternoon for that veteran kicker Al Del Greco. Trent Dilfer has delivered.
So Baltimore and Tennessee split their series on the year. Again, it was a good snap, a good hole, and overcompensating for the hook on the extra point. Del Greco this time pushes it to the right. Remember, he hooked the extra point from the right hash mark. Al just doesn't get all the way through it and pushes it off to the right.
Pretty straight, he just pushed it.
Yep, he sure did.
And so Jeff Fisher's unbeaten reign at home here at Adelphia Stadium, Adelphia Coliseum, ends. And the final score 24-23. So long from Nashville.